Words by Keith Douglas, 1920 to 1944. And this was written in Ballah General Hospital in 1943. Words are my instruments, but not my servants. By the white pillar of a prince I lie in wait for them. In what the hour or the minute invents, in a web formally meshed or inchoate, these fritillaries are come upon, trapped, hot-coloured, or the cold scarabs 1,000 years old, found in the cerements and unwrapped. The catch and the ways of catching are diverse. For instance, this stooping man, the bones of whose face are like the hollow bird's bones, is a trap for words. And the pockmarked house, bleached by the glare, whose insides war has dried out like gourds, attracts words. There are those who capture them in hundreds, keep them prisoners in black bottles, release them at exercise and clap them back. But I keep words only a breath of time, turning in the lightest of cages, uncover and let them go. Sometimes they escape forever. Okay, this is a poem written by Keith Douglas. Keith Douglas was a British poet. He was born in Tunbridge Wells in England, and he went to Merton College, Oxford, to study history. I think he was studying there till 1938, 1939, 1940. Now, sadly, he was killed during the invasion of Normandy in 1944. This poem was written by him after he was wounded at Wadi Zemzem, which was a battle and engagement in Egypt, and he's recovering at El Ballah Hospital, which is near Cairo. Now, what's this poem about? This poem is about words. This poem is about using words and how he comes across his words, what words mean to him. Words are my instruments, but not my servants. So he uses words to make his things, but that words don't do or don't have to do what he tells them to do. He uses them to create, but the words themselves are free. By the white pillar of a prince I lie in wait for them. So I think he's in the hospital and he's lying next to a white pillar. I think the hospital is in what used to be a palace. And he's lying by the white pillar of a prince, and he's waiting for the words to come. He's waiting for his muse. He's waiting for his inspiration. In what the hour or the minute invents. So he's waiting for this inspiration, the inspiration of the hour or the minute. In a web formally meshed or inchoate, these fritillaries are come upon, trapped. So these words, they might come all together as a group, or they might be inchoate, being born, nascent. This might be an idea, just a little idea, and he needs to put them together. These fritillaries are come upon. So a fritillaria is a flower. It's a purple flower, a snake's head flower. And the words appear. Sometimes they're they're all together in a sentence, in a group, and sometimes it's just the beginning of some idea, but these words are suddenly trapped in his head. Hot coloured, or the cold scarabs of 1,000 years old, found in the cerements and unwrapped. So sometimes these words come and they're very vivid, they're bright, they're exciting words, or sometimes these are cold scarabs. Okay, a scarab is like a seal, and the cerements are the windings or the cloth wound round a dead body. And he's talking about mummies, and maybe these words are mummified, coming from the back of his mind, or coming from way back in time. And it's as if these words have been unwrapped while unwrapping the body of a mummy, and you find this scarab that's been hidden away for thousands of years. So it can be a hot, fresh word, or it can be something that comes from millennia back. The catch and the ways of catching are diverse. So there are many, many different ways of catching the words, of being inspired by the words. So words come to you, but in many different ways. For instance, this stooping man, the bones of whose face are like the hollow bird's bones, is a trap for words. This is a lovely phrase. He's saying that he's looking at a man stooping down, and he's looking at the bones of this man's face, and this is something that inspires words in him. It's a trap for words. This suddenly brings words to his mind to describe this scene. And if you look, the bones of his face, who are like hollow birds' bones. This is a wonderful simile, and this is the words coming to him. And this is a trap for words. So he sees something and it catches the words. And the pockmarked house, bleached by the glare, whose insides war has dried out like gourds, attract words. And here's a house which is pockmarked. It's marked with holes. It's probably marked with bullet holes. And it's been bleached white by the hot sun, by the burning sun. And the inside of the house is dried like a gourd, like a dried pumpkin. And this attracts words. So look, pockmarked house, bleached by the glare. Look at all these wonderful words that this image has attracted. Like gourds, again we've got another simile. Like the inside of a dry gourd. And here again, this is the words being captured by the image. There are those who capture them in hundreds. So there are people who capture words and keep them prisoners in black bottles. They keep them in their mind and release them at exercise and clap them back. So I think there are people who remember words, they keep them in their mind, and then they use them at a moment, and they put them back for use next time. I think to make themselves look intelligent. But I keep words only a breath of time, turning in the lightest cages. But I don't keep words like that. For me, words are ephemeral. They come and I put them together and I uncover them and let the words go. And sometimes the words, they escape forever. And maybe the words never come back. Maybe the words remain before us. Or maybe the words have escaped and they never come back. So this is a poem about inspiration, about the muse of poetry, about words, about where the ideas of these words come from. So Words by Keith Douglas.